after being reborn. I deliberately avoided every meeting with my CEO wife. She came to my company to wait for me to get off work, so I slipped out the back door to avoid her. She asked to transfer to the city where I was living for work, so I immediately requested to go even further away, to the aerospace base of a classified project, because in my past life, although we had been engaged since childhood, she delayed the wedding date many times as we grew up, until the two of us got drunk and unconsciously had a relationship. Jiang Wanning always believed I had deliberately orchestrated that night, but to preserve the reputation of both families, she reluctantly had to marry me. After marriage, whenever I suggested intimacy, she avoided me like I was a venomous snake, and when I forcefully ordered her to fulfill her marital duties, she would only respectfully reply with, "As you command," leaving me to sadly hypnotize myself just to fall asleep. I never expected to die suddenly, right there from extreme stress. When I opened my eyes again, messy bedding was in front of me. Before I could react, a cold woman's voice rang in my ear. "I already called our parents. The wedding will be held in 3 days. Xiao Chen, are you satisfied now?" I looked up and saw Jiang Wanning. She didn't look like the 50-year-old woman who died, but had the fresh, beautiful appearance of a 20-year-old. I suddenly understood. I had been reborn. Reborn to the night before Jiang Wanning and I were to get married. Jiang Wanning and I had an arranged marriage between our families since childhood, but Jiang Wanning never liked me. The marriage kept getting postponed for years, making me the laughingstock of all Haicheng, until one day Jiang Wanning got drunk. I accidentally ran into her, and due to a mistake, we actually slept together. Jiang Wanning always assumed I planned that night on purpose, so she hated me even more. But what's done is done, and everyone knew. She had no choice but to fulfill the engagement and marry me. After marriage, Jiang Wanning treated me incredibly coldly, while I poured all my energy into loving her. When Jiang Wanning's company lacked capital, I gave her all of the Xiao family's assets to use. I didn't even dare make a sound walking around the house. She said she liked fresh flowers, so I turned the whole courtyard into a flower garden. I lived anxiously like that for over 10 years, only to finally earn a faint smile from her. But even that was only occasional. I used to think she just had a cold personality, but now I know. She had given all her love to someone else. Memories swarmed like ants, gnawing at my heart, causing intense pain. I forced myself to snap out of it. I looked up at the woman before me. "You don't have to marry me," I spoke calmly. "We can cancel the engagement, given a second chance at life. I will no longer waste my precious time on a woman who doesn't love me." Hearing this, Jiang Wanning just sneered. "Xiao Yichen, playing hard to get again?" I froze. Then I remembered. When I was young, I was madly in love with Jiang Wanning. I had threatened to call off the engagement many times in fits of anger, but was always persuaded by the Jiang parents. So Jiang Wanning no longer believed I would actually do it. This time, I really mean it. I opened my mouth to explain, but Jiang Wanning walked away without even looking back, just like a habit. Jiang Wanning never listened to a word I said. I felt helpless. Fine then, if I want to cancel the engagement anyway, just tell the Jiang family directly. Compared to this, I have more important things to do. I then picked up my phone and made a call. "Professor, I wanted to ask about the new pharmaceutical project at the aerospace base. Can I still apply?" The professor on the other end was surprised. "Of course you can. You are the researcher they specifically asked for. But I've told you already, this is a top-secret project. Once you go to the Northwest Research Institute, you won't be allowed to return for 3 years. You can't even contact anyone. Have you thought it through carefully?" I majored in aerospace in university, with excellent grades. My master's thesis focused on the technology the country needs most right now. So as soon as I graduated, I received an offer from the aerospace base. It was my dream. But in my previous life, because Jiang Wanning proposed marriage, after much internal struggle, I gave up my dream to stay by her side. But in this life, I just want to live for myself. I've thought it through. I want to go. The professor was delighted. Good. But the project is about to start. We have to depart in 5 days. Hurry and say goodbye to your family. But I had no family to say goodbye to. That year, when I was 18, my parents passed away, leaving me as the sole survivor of the Xiao family. I contacted Jiang Wanning's parents and expressed my intention to break the engagement. After hanging up, I went to the auction house. My mother was a famous ceramic artist when she was alive. Since she passed away, I have always collected her works as keepsakes. Among them was a piece titled Love, made by her when she was pregnant with me. I searched for it for years. Luckily, before going to the Northwest Research Institute, I found Love being auctioned right in time. I arrived at the auction house, only to unexpectedly see Jiang Wanning and Song Jinian also there. Seeing me, Jiang Wanning spoke coldly. "Xiao Yichen, what game are you playing now?" Before I could react, Jiang Wanning's beautiful eyes grew more impatient. You called my parents, saying you wanted to cancel the engagement. Weren't you worried I'd change my mind?" "Rest assured, I've already sent out the wedding invitations. I can't change my mind," I realized. Jiang Wanning and the others still didn't believe that I truly wanted to cancel the engagement. "You misunderstood. I really want to. My explanation was cut short, as Jiang Wenning interrupted me again. Xiao Yichen, don't push it. Looking into her warmthless eyes, I suddenly didn't want to speak anymore. Fine. After all, when they don't see the groom at the wedding in 4 days, they will know that I really wanted to break the engagement. The auction quickly began. Jiang Wenning gently asked, Song Jinian, Jinian, your birthday is in a few days. Tell auntie whatever you like. I'll buy it all for you. Song Jinian nervously crumpled the hem of his shirt and gently shook his head. Auntie, you've raised me. That is already the greatest favor. Everything here is too expensive. I don't deserve it. Nonsense. Jiang Wenning frowned. Our Jinian deserves the best things in the world. Song Jinian's mother was Jiang Wenning's subordinate, who sacrificed herself to save Jiang Wenning 3 years ago. Jiang Wenning then adopted Song Jinian and had him call her auntie. At that time, Song Jinian was just over 10 years old, and Jiang Wenning was nearly 20. Now many years have passed. The little boy from back then has grown into a tall, handsome young man. Looking at Jiang Wenning and seeing Song Jinian secretly blushing, I suddenly realized how dense I had been to not notice Jiang Wenning's love for Song Jinian. At this moment, the auctioneer's voice rang out. Next up is the famous ceramic masterpiece Love. A snow-white ceramic vase was brought on stage, depicting a mother elephant embracing her calf. Song Jinian suddenly looked up. Jiang Wenning keenly noticed. Do you like this one? Song Jinian blushed. Yes, it reminds me of my late mother. At the same time, I raised my paddle high, 10 million. I immediately bid double the market price, determined to secure my mother's final work. But unexpectedly, Jiang Wenning also raised her paddle, 15 million. I turned to look at her. Jiang Wenning looked righteous. Jinian likes it. Anger flashed in my eyes. This is my mother's final work. Jiang Wenning was momentarily stunned, only then noticing the artist's name. Her hand holding the paddle unconsciously lowered, but unexpectedly, Song Jinian beside her suddenly spoke with a choked voice. It's okay. Auntie, after all, I don't deserve such good things anyway. Jiang Wenning looked at his red-rimmed eyes. Her heart tightened. She immediately turned and called the staff. Light the sky lantern. I must have this ceramic piece. Lighting the sky lantern means that no matter how high the other bids are, Jiang Wenning will always add another million. This is getting it at any cost. She was determined to win. My face went completely pale. Jiang Wenning, I spoke with a trembling voice. Do you really have to do this? Growing up, I have never asked you for anything, but this time, I beg you, please leave my mother's final work to me. My mother mentioned this ceramic piece many times when she was alive. It is the one piece I have wanted to buy back the most. Jiang Wenning remained resolute not to yield. Sorry, Jinian rarely likes anything. My hand holding the paddle dropped in despair. Although my parents left me a large inheritance, my cash on hand ultimately couldn't compare to Jiang Wenning's. My mother's love was finally presented to Song Jinian. Auntie, thank you. Auntie, I like it very much. Song Jinian accepted it with immense joy, but unexpectedly, he suddenly let go. Crash. The ceramic piece fell to the ground and shattered into pieces. My mother's favorite work was destroyed in the end. I gathered the shards and took them home, carefully trying to piece them back together. But just as I had assembled a rough shape, a servant approached me. Young master, Song is here. He's kneeling at the villa gate. He says he wants to apologize to you. He also said unless you come out personally and forgive him, he won't stand up. I didn't even look up. I won't see him. A while later, it began to pour rain. Jiang Wenning walked into the Xiao villa with a pale face. Xiao Yichen, aren't you being too much? This woman, usually so cold and charming, was now filled with rage in her eyes. Jinian has been kneeling out there for an hour, just going out and telling him that you forgive him. Is it that hard? My hands piecing the ceramics paused. He chose to kneel on his own. I spoke coldly. He destroyed my mother's belongings. Why must I go out to comfort him and offer forgiveness? Jiang Wenning was furious, but suddenly her assistant ran in. Bad news, CEO Jiang. Young Master Song has fainted. What? Jiang Wenning's face completely changed. Looking up to see me, still slowly piecing the fragments together, she was extremely angry. She swiped her hand, knocking the assembled pieces to the floor. Xiao Yichen, you are so cold-hearted. Throwing down those words, she ran out without looking back, to help Song Jinian in the rain. I looked at the ceramic piece thrown to the ground once again, completely shattered. My eyes turned red. Am I cold-hearted? All these years, I chased after her, hoping she would just look at me once more. But what did I get in return? A tragic death in my past life, and heartlessness in this one, who is the truly cold-hearted one. I squatted down, picking up the irreparable shards from the floor, piece by piece. Jiang Wenning, I don't want to love you anymore, even the last little bit. No more love. Having decided to cut ties, I took everything Jiang Wenning had given me over the years, packed it all up, and sent it back to the Jiang family, though they were said to be gifts from Jiang Wenning. Actually, each time it was her parents forcing her, and she just told her assistant to buy something random. There was only one item, the Jiang family heirloom jade pendant, which was too precious. I intended to return it to Jiang Wenning personally, but unexpectedly, Arriving outside Song Jinian's hospital room, I heard Song Jinian's voice. Auntie, don't be so good to me. I am afraid I'll get used to your kindness. Later, when you get married, I won't be able to adapt. Through the transparent glass of the ward door, I saw Jiang Wenning full of pity, unconsciously raising her hand, seeming to want to embrace Song Jinian involuntarily, but she still held back. Her hand finally rested on his head, her eyes restrained and suppressed. What nonsense are you saying? Even if I get married, I will always treat you well. Song Jinian's eyes lit up. Unexpectedly, hearing Jiang Wanning continue, I already said, you can consider me your blood aunt. I'll take care of you all my life. Disappointment flashed in Song Jinian's eyes. He lowered his head. Just an aunt? He muttered. But auntie, after you get married, you'll soon have children of your own. When you have your own kids, what will I be then? There won't be any. But surprisingly, this time Jiang Wenning spoke without thinking. Xiao Yichen and I won't have children. Song Jinian was stunned. Why? Jiang Wenning looked down at him, her expression holding too many complex emotions. I lied to Xiao Yichen that there's a problem with my uterus, that giving birth would carry a high risk of hemorrhage. He promised not to force me to have children. After we marry, he will get sterilized. Jinian, I will forever be your aunt. All my inheritance will go to you in the future. So don't worry, okay, auntie? Song Jinian's eyes reddened. He threw himself into Jiang Wanning's arms, while I stood at the door, face turning pale. Jiang Wanning indeed told me that her uterus had problems, and pregnancy would cause massive bleeding. I never doubted her words, so in my past life, after we got married, I immediately underwent sterilization surgery, worried that Jiang Wanning might accidentally conceive. I protected her so carefully, cherished her. But I never dreamed that this turned out to be a lie. I couldn't take it, stumbled back a step, and at this moment, Mr. Xiao, Jiang Wanning's bodyguard happened to pass by. Seeing me at the door, he couldn't help but be surprised. I hurriedly shoved the jade pendant into his hand. Give this to Jiang Wanning. Then I left without looking back. Today is my birthday, since I am about to leave. Although I dislike noise, I rarely hosted a lavish birthday party for my friends, but unexpectedly, Jiang Wanning arrived with Song Jinian. Here's your gift. Jiang Wanning said coldly and threw the box in her hand to me. I didn't hesitate to hand the ring back. The item I asked the bodyguard to give you last time, did you not receive it? If you saw I returned the family heirloom jade, you should have understood. I have no intention of marrying you. Jiang Wanning frowned. I didn't see it. I told you before, I don't lack anything. You don't need to give me gifts. I was momentarily confused before realizing Jiang Wanning probably saw the bag and assumed I was giving her a gift, so she didn't even open it to check. I thought of my past life. When I sorted through Jiang Wanning's belongings, I found the basement storage room full of dusty boxes. All were gifts I had given her for her 25th birthday. I spent a week carving a necklace. When she was 33 and sick, I went to Foshan and knelt for 3 days and nights to pray for an amulet. When she started having headaches at 40, I studied for a year to make soothing incense by hand. So many gifts that took so much effort and heart were thrown carelessly into the storage room without even being opened. In contrast, the paper stars and cheap bracelets Song Jinian gave her, even a sticky note, were cherished and kept in a safe. My lips curled in mockery. I didn't want to explain much either. Just went to greet the guests. Halfway through the party, Song Jinian suddenly collapsed onto Jiang Wanning. Auntie, I feel so dizzy. Jiang Wanning's face changed instantly. Are you sick or did you eat something bad? I'll take you to the hospital. Saying that, she helped Song Jinian up and left without letting anyone speak. I frowned. Since I was the host of the party, if anything happened to Song Jinian, it would be my responsibility. Before leaving, I didn't want any trouble, so I followed them. But unexpectedly, arriving at Jiang Wanning's black Bentley, I heard Song Jinian's panting voice. Auntie, I am so hot. It's so tight down there too. My hand, ready to knock on the car window, stopped. Even I could hear something was wrong, let alone Jiang Wanning inside the car. I heard her speak anxiously. Jinian, you've been drugged. I'll take you to the hospital immediately. But Song Jinian in the car hugged her tightly. It's too late. Auntie, I am in so much pain. Please. Auntie, please, give it to me. I only want, and you. The young man's voice was deep and pleasant, powerfully stimulating the woman's most sensitive nerves. Jiang Wanning, who was using all her rationality to restrain herself, hearing the boy's confession now, all suppression finally exploded. All right, she whispered. The young man instantly turned into a beast, pushing her down forcefully. I watched the car before me, shaking violently, listening to Jiang Wanning inside, making sounds I had never heard before. So seductive, so alluring. A helpless smile formed on my lips. In my past life, Jiang Wanning and I were married for 20 years. Our intimate moments could be counted on one hand. Later, even the once-a-month intimacy. It was a birthday gift I begged for when I was 35. I used to think Jiang Wanning had no interest in that. But now hearing the intense noise in the car, I realized she wasn't uninterested in it. She just wasn't interested in me. I turned away. Perhaps this is for the best. In this life, everyone gets what they truly want. I returned to the party. 2 hours later, the party was drawing to a close. I went to the upstairs lounge and drank a glass of juice. Just as I was about to sit down and rest, unexpectedly, a wave of heat surged in my lower abdomen. I felt something was wrong. I was about to call for someone when a cold voice rang out from the door. How is it, Xiao Yichen? Is it uncomfortable being drugged? I jerked my head up and saw Jiang Wenning standing at the door. I immediately realized he drugged my orange juice. I was furious. Jiang Wenning, what do you want? Jiang Wenning sneered. Step forward. I should be asking what you want. Why did you drug Jinian? Just because he accidentally broke your mother's legacy? You drugged him to make him lose face in front of everyone and ruin his reputation. But he's just a child, Xiao Yichen. How can you be so cruel? I was simply stunned. When did I ever drug Song Jinian? Jiang Wenning laughed coldly. Don't deny it. I already asked Jinian. He only drank 1 glass of water today, the one you gave him. If not you, then who? Only then did I understand what absolute bias is. Song Jinian only needed 1 word. Jiang Wenning didn't ask anything else. She had already sentenced me to death. Crazy. I let out a cold laugh, struggling to grab my phone to call an ambulance, but Jiang Wenning snatched my phone away. Jiang Wenning, what are you doing? Jiang Wenning looked down at me from above. This drug is very potent. Calling an ambulance won't help you. Your only option is to beg me. I hadn't reacted yet. Beg you for what? Beg me to help you relieve the drug. Obviously. Jiang Wenning sneered. But I have conditions. You must kneel and apologize to Jinian. Only then will I help you. I looked at Jiang Wenning in disbelief. She just finished having fun with Song Jinian in the car, and now she wants to help me relieve the drug, and she's forcing me to kneel and beg her? At that moment, I felt a level of disgust I had never felt before. Jiang Wenning stepped closer to me. Xiao Yichen, what are you pretending for? Isn't this what you want the most? She said coldly. You used these kinds of tricks to force me to marry you before. Now I am just making you apologize for your sins. Is there a problem? I finally couldn't take it anymore. I shoved her away, grabbed the scissors from the table, and spoke coldly. Make me kneel and apologize to Song Jinian. Keep dreaming. As soon as the words left my mouth, I didn't hesitate to take the scissors and stab them forcefully into my thigh. Jiang Wanning's expression finally changed. Xiao Yichen, what are you doing? But I ignored her completely, just holding the scissors, stabbing my thigh over and over again. The black trousers hit it well, but my white shirt was instantly stained bright red. Jiang Wanning stood frozen on the spot. I wanted to avoid touching her so badly that I would rather hurt myself than be with her. This thought rushed into her mind. Jiang Wanning felt more frustrated than she ever had before. Xiao Yichen, she screamed, grabbing my hand. The scissors fell to the floor. Intense pain shot through me. I felt my hazy brain finally clear up a bit, and at the same time, applause erupted from downstairs. Clearly, they were waiting for me, the birthday boy, to say a few words. I endured the excruciating pain, pushed Jiang Wanning aside, walked out the door, and went downstairs. Seeing me covered in blood, everyone gasped in shock, but my expression remained unchanged. I raised my glass, smiled at everyone, and said, "Happy birthday to me, to a bright future." After saying that, I finally couldn't hold on any longer and passed out amidst the screams of shock. Jiang Wanning rushed out to catch me. I was unconscious for a day and a night before waking up, after being discharged and returning home. Just as I finished packing my luggage to leave, unexpectedly, Jiang Wanning arrived with Song Jinian. I investigated the drugging incident. Jiang Wanning said stiffly, "Someone else accidentally mixed it up, so you really had nothing to do with it." I didn't react at all. Song Jinian beside her started crying again. "Uncle-in-law, I was just talking nonsense. That's why Auntie misunderstood you. To apologize to you, I personally designed the wedding suit for you and Auntie. Consider it my birthday gift to you." Only then did I look up at the suit in his hands. Memories of my past life flooded back. I laughed coldly. "Do you design clothes without checking the size? How am I supposed to fit into this suit?" Before the wedding in my past life, Song Jinian also brought out a suit he designed himself for me. Jiang Wanning rejected my protest without letting me speak. The high-end custom suit I had carefully chosen, and insisted I wear the one Song Jinian designed. The funny thing was, Song Jinian's suit was small and tight. I couldn't fit into it at all. But in my past life, Jiang Wanning just coldly said, "Just eat less." So, for 2 days before the wedding, I didn't dare drink a single drop of water, and finally fainted during the wedding ceremony. In this life, naturally, I won't be that stupid. Hearing my words, Song Jinian's face immediately turned pale. "I am sorry." He looked terrified, because when I was designing the suit, I kept thinking about if I were the groom, so I accidentally. Jiang Wanning sharply looked up at him, her eyes filled with emotions, extremely complex. Song Jinian panicked and covered his mouth, seemingly realizing he had slipped up. The atmosphere instantly became awkward, until I laughed coldly. "If that's the case, you wear this suit." Song Jinian was stunned. Jiang Wanning's face immediately turned pale. "What nonsense are you talking about? I am Jinian's auntie." I curled my lips in mockery. You see? Guilty people really are easily provoked. Then let someone else wear it. I was too lazy to expose them, so I just said indifferently. In short, I won't be the one wearing it. Jiang Wanning frowned immediately. What do you mean? My meaning has always been clear. I raised my head and repeated each word clearly. I don't want to marry you. I won't show up at the wedding tomorrow either. What game are you playing now? Playing hard to get? Jiang Wanning started to speak impatiently, but seeing my cold gaze, the words on the tip of her tongue suddenly stopped. Her eyes fell on my carefully bandaged thigh. She suddenly remembered me from yesterday, how I'd rather stab myself violently than have any intimacy with her. Jiang Wanning felt frustrated again for no reason. Xiao Yichen. The wedding is about to happen. Stop being angry, right? I must just be acting out because she neglected me lately, so I am throwing a tantrum. Once the anger passes, I'll be happy again and eager to marry her. As for the suit, Jiang Wanning's eyes fell on the suit nearby. I thought she would subconsciously force me to starve myself to fit into the suit, but unexpectedly, the woman spoke up. If you like the custom suit from before, then go ahead and wear that one. Song Jinian sharply raised his head. Auntie. Jiang Wanning patted his head. It's okay. You can design another outfit next time. Song Jinian's face paled slightly, but he still nodded obediently. Jiang Wanning led Song Jinian away, but not long after. Song Jinian came back. He stood in front of me and spoke bluntly and coldly. Xiao Yichen, you saw everything in the car yesterday, didn't you? The Song Jinian standing before me had none of his usual timid demeanor, only deep hostility. I didn't answer directly, but just asked back. You drugged yourself? Song Jinian didn't deny it. That's right. Auntie always loved me. I just gave her an opportunity. That's all. I understood. Subconsciously, I wasn't sure if it was one-sided on Jiang Wanning's part, between her and Song Jinian, or if the affection was mutual. In this life, I have confirmed it, so I said, I wish you both happiness. I spoke with sincerity, but Song Jinian got angry immediately. Xiao Yichen, don't be sarcastic, but I have to admit, your methods are much more advanced now, he sneered. Before, you were just like a pathetic dog. Now you've learned how to pretend. Do you think, just because you'd rather die than sleep with her yesterday, she will see you differently? Let me tell you, dream on. Today, I will make you see clearly who she really cares about. As soon as he finished speaking, he lunged at me and covered my mouth and nose with a cloth. A pungent smell invaded my nose. Startled, I tried to resist, but my leg was injured, and I had no strength, and the servants in the house, because the conversation was too private, had already left. I couldn't fight back, and lost consciousness. I was woken up by the heat. When I opened my eyes, everything was in flames. Song Jinian was lying next to me. I realized what was happening, and glared furiously at Song Jinian. You set fire to my house. Are you crazy? Song Jinian laughed coldly. Didn't you think you had a place in her heart? Today I will show you just how much she loves me. Just as he finished speaking, Jiang Wanning's anxious voice rang out behind me. Jinian. Jinian, where are you? Song Jinian wiped away his malicious look instantly, and screamed in panic. Auntie, I am here. Come save me quickly. Jiang Wanning rushed into the room. Seeing me there, she froze. But Song Jinian let out a scream from a burn, immediately drawing her attention away. Jinian. She hurriedly helped Song Jinian up. When she passed by me, she quickly said, Xiao Yichen, get Jinian out, and then come back for you. After saying that, she left quickly. I curled my lips in sarcasm, endured the pain in my leg, and used all my strength to crawl out. I had long stopped believing Jiang Wanning's words. I had to get out on my own. I crawled downstairs, and found the first floor almost completely swallowed by the fire. Jiang Wanning was clearing a path. Song Jinian, a grown man, just stood there watching. Seeing me come out, her expression changed. Didn't I tell you to wait for me? But now was not the time to argue. She was about to help Song Jinian out. Unexpectedly, Song Jinian suddenly yelled, Watch out! A beam, burnt by the fierce fire, fell straight down. The first piece of wood fell towards me. Xiao Yichen. Jiang Wanning's face changed. She started to rush over. But in the next second, another beam fell, heading towards Song Jinian. In that split second, Jiang Wanning still turned back, shielding Song Jinian behind her. The burning wooden beam smashed into her back. Her face turned pale from the pain, and she screamed. At the same time, another piece of wood hit my back. Intense pain washed over me. I dazedly looked up, seeing the fire brigade finally rush in. Jiang Wanning was still holding Song Jinian tightly, protecting him in her arms with absolute devotion. I smiled. Jiang Wanning, you made the same choice in this life too. When I woke up, I was already in the hospital. In front of me was Jiang Wanning, already treated and bandaged. Seeing me awake, she spoke stiffly. I asked the doctor. We aren't seriously injured. The wounds have been treated well, and it won't affect the wedding today. I couldn't believe that even now, Jiang Wanning still thought that I wanted to marry her. At this point, I couldn't be bothered to explain. I just got out of bed. I want to be discharged. Today is the launch day of the new drug project. I can't delay any longer. But Jiang Wanning thought I was rushing to be discharged to attend the wedding. She involuntarily breathed a sigh of relief, thinking I was indeed still eager to marry her. Her heart felt strangely at ease. She even felt a bit happy. Jiang Wanning didn't. I know why she felt this way, feeling frustrated for no reason. She immediately put on her icy face again. I'll go to the wedding venue first. You finish up and then come over. As soon as Jiang Wanning left, I called the driver. Young master, are we going to the wedding venue? I didn't hesitate to say, no, to the airport. I grabbed my luggage, went to the airport to meet my mentor, and received countless messages from Jiang Wanning. Xiao Yichen, where are you? Why aren't you at the wedding venue yet? If you don't come now, you won't make it. Do you still want to get married? Xiao Yichen, I am giving you the last 10 minutes. Get here immediately. Jiang Wanning seemed to have completely lost her patience. She called me directly, but I didn't even look at it. I turned off my phone, pulled out the SIM card and threw it in the trash, turned around and boarded the plane. Goodbye, Jiang Wanning. In this life, I will only live for myself. At the same time, back at the wedding venue, the guests were all seated. A wedding uniting two major families in Haicheng was naturally very lively, but backstage was chaotic. Father Jiang's face was pale. Wanning, have you been able to contact Yichen yet? 15 more minutes, and the wedding will start. If there's no groom by then, we will be the biggest laughingstock in Haicheng. Jiang Wanning's face was also extremely grim. She called me one more time, but this time, she heard a cold, mechanical voice. Sorry, the number you have dialed is powered off. Bang. Jiang Wanning slammed the phone onto the table. What on earth is this Xiao Yichen doing? Wasn't he looking forward to this wedding? Didn't he scheme against me, just to marry me? Wasn't his childhood dream to be my groom? Now that the wedding day is finally here, where has he run off to? Meanwhile, Mother Jiang finished calling the hospital. I confirmed it. Yichen has been discharged, but he didn't come to the wedding venue. Could it be that he doesn't want to get married anymore? The more Mother Jiang thought about it, the more likely it seemed. She almost started crying. Come to think of it, he did mention breaking the engagement before. I thought he was just saying it out of anger. Now that I think about it, it must be because you treated Yichen so heartlessly that he fell into despair. How am I supposed to explain this to his mother? Mother Jiang and Mother Xiao were childhood best friends. They had a great relationship. Mother Xiao passed away early. Mother Jiang had long considered me her own son. She wholeheartedly wanted us to become a family. Impossible. Jiang Wanning blurted out. How could he not want to marry me? But in the next second, she thought back to when I was drugged the other day. Such a strong drug. Anyone would lose their mind. Any woman could have helped relieve it, but I tried so hard not to touch her, going as far as severely injuring myself, seemingly determined to cut ties with her. Thinking of this, Jiang Wanning felt like a piece of her heart was missing. She felt an inexplicable unease. I'll go to his house to find him. She turned to leave. But Father Jiang shouted, the Xiao villa burnt down. Where are you going to find him? Jiang Wanning stopped in her tracks. Right. She had almost forgotten that the Xiao house had a massive fire yesterday for some reason, and was burnt to ruins. Was it because during the fire yesterday, the first person she saved was Song Jinian, that I got angry? Thinking of this, Jiang Wanning felt even more frustrated. She was about to look for me elsewhere, but unexpectedly, at that moment, the wedding staff rushed over. The groom is here. Jiang Wanning was taken aback, then breathed a sigh of relief. She knew it. She knew I liked her that much. How could I not come to the wedding? I was just playing hard to get again. Thinking of this, Jiang Wanning felt a bit angry. She was preparing to scold me for my insensibility, but unexpectedly, when she looked up at the person arriving, she froze. Jinian, why is it you? Seeing the clothes the young man was wearing, she was even more shocked. Why are you dressed like that? The groom who walked in with the staff wasn't me at all, but Song Jinian. He was wearing the suit he designed himself. Hearing Jiang Wanning's question, he blushed, lowered his head and said, Auntie, I heard the news. Xiao Yichen still hasn't shown up. There are so many guests at the wedding. If the groom doesn't appear, all of Haicheng will laugh at the Jiang family. That's why I put on this suit and came. I thought if Xiao Yichen doesn't come, then let me be the groom. I will marry you. After speaking, he raised his head sharply, his eyes shining, as if he had summoned all his courage. Jiang Wanning stood frozen, but Mother Jiang beside her didn't say a word. She stepped forward and slapped Song Jinian across the face. A brat like you wants to marry our Wanning? Dream on. Jiang Wanning finally snapped out of it and hurriedly shielded Song Jinian behind her, looking at Mother Jiang angrily. Mom, what are you doing? Mother Jiang laughed coldly. Jiang Wanning, stop pretending with me. What did you say? Song Jinian is the child you adopted, but anyone with eyes can see you two aren't clean. Tell me the truth. Is it because of this brat that Yi Chen wants to break the engagement? Jiang Wanning's pupils constricted. Before she could speak, Song Jinian burst into tears. Mrs. Jiang, if you want to blame someone, blame me. I fell in love with Auntie. I couldn't control myself. I begged Auntie to be intimate with me. It's all my fault. It has nothing to do with Auntie. Mother Jiang nearly fainted. You two even slept together? I'll beat you to death. You shameless pair. Saying that, she rushed forward to hit Song Jinian and Jiang Wanning. But Father Jiang roared. Enough. Only then did Mother Jiang stop. Father Jiang looked up at Song Jinian, thinking for a long time before saying, at this point, The only way is to let Song Jinian be the groom. Song Jinian's eyes lit up instantly. Mother Jiang screamed, "Husband, what nonsense are you saying? Do you have a better idea?" Father Jiang said angrily. "Today's wedding, every prominent figure in Haicheng is here. If there's no groom, our Jiang family will become a joke. Changing the groom, people will gossip a bit at most. But having no groom, we will truly lose all face. Everyone will think Wanning is an abandoned woman. At this critical moment, if you don't let Song Jinian be the groom, where will you find another one?" After speaking, Father Jiang looked at Jiang Wanning. "Wanning, what do you think?" Song Jinian looked at Jiang Wanning expectantly, but surprisingly, Jiang Wanning hesitated. She said, "But Jinian is my nominal adopted nephew. It's not right." Father Jiang said impatiently, "You aren't related by blood, and you didn't go through formal adoption procedures. You just took care of him for a few years. Although people will talk badly, it's still better than being a laughingstock." Jiang Wanning stood rigid, and at the same time, the time for the wedding has arrived. The MC's voice and the guests' applause can be heard from outside. Song Jinian nervously tugs at Jiang Wanning's arm. "Auntie, what are you still hesitating for? Hurry up and say yes." At this moment, Song Jinian is truly overjoyed. He was adopted by Jiang Wanning when he was 10. At first, he really only respected her as an elder, but later, as he reached puberty, he couldn't help but fall in love with Jiang Wanning. Not only did he love her beauty, but he also loved the wealth of the Jiang family. He could also sense the affection Jiang Wanning had for him. It was just due to her status and her engagement to me that she suppressed all her feelings. But today, all those shackles can finally be unlocked. It is the best opportunity for him to openly marry Jiang Wanning. How could he possibly miss it? Thinking of this, he looks at Jiang Wanning full of expectation, waiting for her to agree. But unexpectedly, Jiang Wanning suddenly raises her head. "Dad, I can't marry Jinian." Song Jinian's face turns pale in an instant. Father Jiang is stunned. "Why? Haven't you always liked Song Jinian?" Jiang Wanning doesn't. Look at Song Jinian. She just speaks calmly. "Dad, changing the groom to Jinian, it might temporarily solve today's problem, but what about afterwards? Our family and the Xiao family have many joint projects. Although the company is run by professional managers, all decision-making power lies with Yichen. Even though he didn't come to the wedding today, do you really think he would be happy to see me marry Jinian? If Yichen just didn't show up out of anger and then finds out the groom was changed, how will he react? If he gets furious and cancels all cooperation with the Jiang family, what then? Not only that, suddenly changing the groom will make others suspect that the Jiang family doesn't keep its promises. It will affect our reputation in the business world later on." Jiang Wanning calmly analyzes the pros and cons. Father Jiang is persuaded. "You have a point, but today's wedding is actually very easy to handle." Jiang Wanning interrupts. "Didn't the Xiao house just have a fire yesterday? Just say his injuries from the fire suddenly worsened, so we had no choice but to cancel the wedding. We can make it up in a month." Hearing this, Mother Jiang, her eyes light up. Right, honey, trust me. I watched Yi Chen grow up. He couldn't possibly give up on Wanning." Father Jiang is now completely convinced. "All right, well, do as you say." Father Jiang and Mother Jiang quickly go out to explain to the guests. Jiang Wanning finally turns her gaze to Song Jinian beside her. Seeing his red-rimmed eyes, she feels a pang of pity. She whispers, "Jinian." Song Jinian abruptly raises his head. "Auntie, you marrying Xiao Yi Chen. Is it really just for the business between the Jiang and Xiao families?" Jiang Wanning's eyelids twitch. "Of course. What else would it be for?" Song Jinian, speak softly. "I thought you actually fell in love with him. How is that possible?" Jiang Wanning blurts out. Song Jinian forces a reluctant smile. "That's good then." Jiang Wanning's hand involuntarily clenches. Her red-painted nails dig into her palm. "Yes, that's right. She marries me. Just for the Jiang family's business and a promise, nothing more. That's all it is." After the wedding was cancelled, Jiang Wanning immediately went looking for me. She checked several Xiao family apartments but couldn't find anyone. Finally, she went to the university where I worked. I am not like the typical rich young masters. I didn't study business management, nor do I like racing cars or luxury watches. Instead, I focused on aerospace research. After college, I went straight to graduate school, leaving the family business to professional managers. After graduating, I stayed on as a researcher. Jiang Wanning looked down on this job of mine. The salary was too low, and it didn't help the family business at all. She had already planned it out. Wait until after the wedding. She would force me to quit this job. Arriving at the university to find my professor, she bluntly asked him if he had seen me. The professor was stunned. "Yichen has already left. Didn't you know?" Jiang Wanning froze. "Left for where?" "He went to join an aerospace research project. He departed this morning." Jiang Wanning stood rooted to the spot. "So, to avoid the wedding, I ran off on a business trip." She felt a bit angry. This Xiao Yichen, his temper is really getting bigger. She immediately asked when he would be back. My professor knew Jiang Wanning and knew she was my fiancée. Hearing Jiang Wanning's question now, he felt confused. "Yichen didn't tell you? He joined a top-secret level 1 science project. There is basically no set timeline. A conservative Estimate is that he won't be back for over 10 years. Over 10 years? Jiang Wanning's face instantly turns pale. At the same time, the dedicated helicopter of the Northwest Aerospace Base lands. I step off the plane. A senior colleague immediately comes to welcome me. Hello, my name is Lai Wanchuang. I'll be responsible for guiding you from now on. She leads me to the dormitory. After introducing the cafeteria and the work situation, she speaks up. I heard you are the young master of the Xiao family. Isn't it unusual for a rich kid? Life at the base is quite simple. Will you be able to get used to it? I smile. No, a simple life is very good. This is a place for scientific research after all. Hearing this, Senior smiles, extending her hand to me. Welcome to the new drug project. I also extend my hand. The dream broken in my past life can finally continue in this life. On the other side, Jiang Wanning basically doesn't know how she got back to the Jiang house. She looks lost and soulless, pushing the door open to enter. Mother Jiang rushes over. So, did you find Yichen? Jiang Wanning snaps out of it. He went to the aerospace science base. Science base? Mother. Jiang is stunned. How long is the business trip? Jiang Wanning's hand clenches involuntarily. At least 10 years. He might never come back. Each word seems to use up all her strength. Never come back? Mother Jiang's face also turns pale, suddenly thinking of something. She murmurs, no wonder. Jiang Wanning comes to her senses. No wonder what? I heard before. He found a manager for the company and signed a long-term contract. He also entrusted part of his assets. I thought it was for the marriage. I didn't expect it was because he was determined to leave. Jiang Wanning jolts awake. Her voice carries a hint of anger. Why didn't you say so earlier? Mother Jiang immediately gets angry too. I should be asking you. Yichen is so good. Why did he suddenly leave? He used to like you so much, suddenly determined to cancel the engagement and go so far away. What on earth did you do to Yichen? Jiang Wanning's first reaction is to retort, but the first word reaches her lips. Suddenly, she can't speak. Recent events flood her memory like a tide. Burst. After that night, we were intimate. Although she agreed to marry me, she humiliated me in 100 ways. Then after that, she snatched my mother's posthumous work for Jinian, and Jinian accidentally broke it. Then Jinian was drugged. Without letting me explain, she misunderstood me. She even drugged me, thinking it was an eye for an eye. And just a few days ago during the fire, she left me behind. At this moment, asked by her mother, she realizes, not to mention the neglect over the past few years. Just in these few short days, how many times has she hurt me? She abruptly turns her head and walks out. Mother Jiang immediately asks, where are you going? Jiang Wanning speaks with a pale face. I am going to bring him back. Jiang Wanning returns to the university, looking for my professor. She speaks bluntly. Professor Chen, I need to trouble you for the contact number of Yichen's current research institute. I want to bring him back. Hearing this, Professor Chen's jaw drops. Young lady, are you mistaken? Their project is a national level 1 key project. It's not some game. Every researcher is carefully selected. Once they join, how can they just leave when they want? Jiang Wanning, who is usually calm, feels more frustrated than ever. Her voice also becomes hurried. Professor Chen, you basically don't understand my situation. He doesn't really want to go to the research institute. We just had a fight 2 days ago. He was angry in the heat of the moment. Despite me, he just left. Yes. Even at this point, Jiang Wanning still thinks I did it because of the events of the past few days. Acting impulsively, she continues. He'll probably regret it in a few days. This will affect the project's progress, so it's better if I bring him back right now. Hearing this, Professor Chen is stunned again. Aren't you mistaken? Yi Chen, participating in this project, wasn't decided in the last 2 days. Now, Jiang Wanning is stunned. When Jiang Wanning walks out of the research institute, she is still in a daze. Professor Chen's words echo in her ears. Yi Chen called us last week, saying he wanted to join this project. His voice was especially firm. We confirmed with him many times, so he absolutely isn't acting on impulse. Jiang Wanning stops walking. Last week, that was exactly when she just proposed. Marriage. It's true. I said I wanted to cancel the engagement then, but she thought I was just saying it out of anger. I didn't expect I was actually serious. Canceling the engagement with her on one hand, while contacting the research institute on the other, preparing to leave. But why? The auction house incident hadn't happened yet, nor the drugging incident, and certainly no fire. Why was I so determined to leave? Jiang Wanning can't figure it out. Stumbling all the way home, unexpectedly seeing her father, sitting in the living room, looking happy. Wanning, you're back. I have good news for you. There's a lead on the wedding. Jiang Wanning is stunned, then excited. Did you find Yi Chen? Unexpectedly, Father Jiang shakes his head. Of course not. I asked around. He joined a national level 1 security project. There can be absolutely no contact with the outside world. No one can find him. Jiang Wanning drops her hands in disappointment. Father Jiang continues happily. We can't find Yi Chen, but that's okay. I found his cousin. He is also a member of the Xiao family. Let him marry you in Yi Chen's place. That way we're still allied with the Xiao family. I've already asked him. He agreed. And we won't become the laughingstock of Hei Cheng. No way. Jiang Wanning's expression changes. The one engaged to me is clearly Xiao Yichen. How can we just switch him out like that? Besides, aren't you worried Yichen will find out and angrily cancel the cooperation with our family? What nonsense are you talking about, father? Jiang frowns, looking at Jiang Wanning. Yichen has gone to join such a long-term project. Obviously, he really wants to call off the engagement. He has truly given up on you. How could he trouble us just because we allied with someone else when he's not even here? Not only that, he won't be back for at least 10 or 20 years. The Xiao family company has been handed over to a manager. He can't suddenly interfere. In short, the worries you mentioned during the wedding are all gone. The only thing we need to solve is to not let others think the Jiang family called off the wedding. So the best way is to marry another member of the Xiao family. That way, everyone will just think our family keeps its promises. All the worries are resolved. Wanning, what on earth are you still worried about? Jiang Wanning's hand clenches involuntarily. Her expression freezes. Right. She actually knows her father is right. Everything she needed to worry about has been resolved. She needs to marry my cousin. Clearly, she doesn't love me. Marrying me or marrying the Xiao cousin should be the same to her. But why? Why does she always feel so resistant? Like a piece of her heart has been gouged out. Why does? But it hurts so much? I can't marry Yi Chen's cousin. She can't think clearly, just mechanically repeating. I just can't marry him. Father, Jiang is furious. He's about to explode. But Mother Jiang, who had been silent beside him, suddenly comes over to hold her back. Looking up at Jiang Wanning, actually at this point, it doesn't matter who you marry, Yi Chen's cousin, or even Song Jinian, we accept it all. I just want to ask you one question. She looks straight at her daughter. You insist on marrying Yi Chen? Is it ultimately just for the promise and business considerations, or do you love him? Of course it's because. Jiang Wanning blurts out, but stops halfway, stopping herself, because if it were for the promise and business, she should have let go by now. Mother Jiang understands and sighs softly. Wanning, now that Yi Chen is gone, have you still not realized your true feelings? Do you really not love him, or do you just not dare to admit you love him? Jiang Wanning basically doesn't know how she left the Jiang house. Her mother's words fill her mind. Jiang Wanning clenches her fists tightly. No, how could she possibly love me? The one she loves is clearly Jinian. Thinking of this, she immediately wants to find Song Jinian. Surely too many things have happened recently, making her a bit confused. Just meeting Jinian, she will surely realize who she truly loves. Thinking of this, she asks her assistant. Learning that Song Jinian is gathering with friends at a karaoke bar, she goes there immediately, but unexpectedly, arriving at the karaoke room door. Before she can push the door open, she hears Song Jinian's friend's voice. Brother Nian, you swore before that you'd marry the young miss of the Jiang family. So, have you finally done it? Jiang Wenning's hand, about to push the door, suddenly freezes. She looks up in disbelief. Through the glass of the door, seeing the scene inside, she sees Song Jinian surrounded by his bros. Where is the usual pitiful look on his face? Instead, he looks arrogant and haughty. Of course it's done. Haven't you heard? Her old fiancé, Xiao Yichen, went to the Aerospace Research Institute. He won't be back for at least 10 or 20 years. A group of boys applaud in unison. Brother Nian is still the best. The solid engagement and cooperation between the Xiao and Jiang families, you managed to handle it all. Brother Nian, hurry and teach us. How on earth did you get Xiao Yichen to withdraw voluntarily? Please enlighten us. Song Jinian smiles even more arrogantly. I naturally did a lot of things. For example, in the beginning, the reason she agreed to hold the wedding is because I drugged her. In her confusion, she was intimate with Xiao Yichen. Jiang Wenning's pupils constrict violently outside the door. Before that night, she and I were intimate. I always said we were both drunk. But Jiang Wanning naturally knew being drunk isn't like that, so she thought I was the one who drugged her, to force her to fulfill the engagement. But surprisingly, she only guessed half right. She was indeed drugged, but not by me. It was Song Jinian. But why would Jinian do that? Not only does Jiang Wenning not understand, those friends don't understand either. Brother Nian, I don't get it. Aren't you forcing her to marry Xiao Yichen? Why would you do that? Song Jinian laughs smugly. You guys don't understand. The cooperation between the Jiang and Xiao families is so solid, this marriage must happen. Even if she doesn't marry him now, she'll have to marry him eventually. Since that's the case, I might as well seize this opportunity to make her believe. Xiao Yichen schemed against her, so she completely hates him. Jiang Wanning at the door simply cannot believe her ears. Is this calculating man really the innocent and lovely Jinian in her heart? Inside the karaoke room, Song Jinian's friends continue to shout awesome. Song Jinian laughs even more arrogantly. That was just the beginning. Then at the auction, I deliberately wanted Xiao Yichen's mother's posthumous work to make her spend a fortune buying it. Then I deliberately broke it. Then at his birthday party, I drugged myself to make her and me intimate. Once this relationship happened, I knew she could never let me go, but that wasn't enough. I wanted her to think she was the one who drugged me, so she would hate Xiao Yichen even more. But I didn't expect. His tricks were even better. He hurt himself to make her believe him. Framing him didn't work this time, but that's okay. I did something huge again. I set fire to the Xiao house directly. In the moment of danger, she naturally saved me and not him. Xiao Yichen finally gave up on her completely. Ha ha ha. Jiang running outside the door. At this moment, the last bit of blood drains from her face. She didn't expect that so many recent events turned out to be all Song Jinian's doing. Song Jinian continues to be arrogant in the room. Ha ha ha. I did so many things, just to make Xiao Yichen despair of her and withdraw voluntarily. I didn't expect I actually pulled it off. Ha ha ha. That idiot ran away with his tail between his legs. The position of the Jiang family's son-in-law is mine. Song Jinian is arrogantly turning his nose up, but unexpectedly, at this moment, bam, the door is suddenly pushed open hard from the outside. Seeing the pale-faced woman walking in, Song Jinian's arrogant smile freezes. His face instantly turns pale. Auntie. Song Jinian panics and rushes to put on his mask of innocent pitifulness again, but it's too late. Jiang Wanning walks straight up and slaps him across the face. Song Jinian's friends around them are scared and run away. Finally, only Jiang Wanning and Song Jinian are left. Song Jinian. Jiang Wanning almost forces the words through her gritted teeth. You deceived me so cruelly all these years. Jiang Wanning thinks back to the first time she met Song Jinian. His mother had just died. The little boy with red eyes asked where his mother went. Guilt and pity made her decide to take care of this child for life. In the beginning, it was truly out of responsibility and affection. But then, the boy gradually grew up. He became different from all the teenagers she knew. The teenagers in her circle always drove the best cars, wore the best watches, arrogant and looking down on everyone. But Song Jinian seemed to always be fearful and insecure, feeling like he didn't deserve anything. A Song Jinian like that made her pity him even more. It was this very pity that made her think she loved Song Jinian. But now, when she saw Song Jinian's true colors clearly, she suddenly realized she only felt the anger of being deceived, but no heartbreak or disappointment. Why? If she truly loved Song Jinian, why didn't her heart ache? On the contrary, when thinking of me, that was when she felt that suffocating pain. Thinking of my mother's posthumous work, when it was shattered by Song Jinian and my pale face. Thinking of when I was drugged, but held back, fiercely stabbing scissors into myself to stay resolute. Thinking of me in the great fire, looking at her calmly, without surprise. Jiang Wanning felt like she couldn't breathe. All her rage could finally only be directed at Song Jinian in front of her. At this moment, she truly wanted to kill Song Jinian. Song Jinian sensed the woman's murderous intent and was truly terrified this time. He stammered, trembling, "Auntie, please, for the sake of my mother." Jiang Wanning's pupils constricted. The murderous intent in her eyes finally dissipated. Song Jinian. She spoke coldly. Her voice no longer held the tenderness of the past, only the chill of a stranger. "The debt to your mother, I have paid it off over these years. From now on, you and I have absolutely no relationship left." Saying that, she turned and walked away. No matter how loudly Song Jinian shouted her name from behind, she didn't look back. Jiang Wanning rushed back home and saw a lot of things in the living room. She frowned. What is all this? Mother Jiang looked indifferent. Yi Chen sent us some things before. I just sorted them out today. Also, when I was organizing things, I found many things you threw in the basement. See what they are. Jiang Wanning looked at the things in front of her and was stunned for a moment. She saw there were two piles of items. One pile was what I had asked someone to send to her before. She glanced at them. They were all gifts she had given me in the past. Since many were just randomly bought by her assistant, she didn't even remember them herself. Jiang Wanning's eyes darkened. It turned out that before I left, I wanted to return everything to them. Her gaze fell on the other pile, recognizing them as things I had given her before. Only then did she remember that I used to love giving her gifts the most. Gifts for birthdays, gifts for anniversaries, gifts for every holiday. She got sick of it, so later she simply didn't open them and just carelessly threw them into the basement. Now that Mother Jiang had dug them out, Jiang Wanning stood dazed, opening each dust-covered gift. The year she took the university entrance exam, I prayed for a study amulet for her. She remembered this temple was the most effective, but one had to queue from midnight for over 10 hours. Last year, for her birthday, I bought her the designer bag she liked the most. It was said you had to find the designer personally to buy it. And last month, she mentioned in passing she liked a film company, but couldn't acquire it. It turned out I had gone to negotiate for her. The gift was the share transfer agreement. So many things like that, each one full of heartfelt sincerity. But I never dreamed that none of them were ever opened. Jiang Wanning's heart felt like it was being torn apart. What had she done? She trampled the sincere heart of such a sentimental man under her feet while treating another man full of lies like a treasure. She trembled, her gaze finally falling on the very last gift. Her eyes suddenly lit up. She remembered now. This last gift was just given to her by me a few days ago. If I had really wanted to give up on her early on, why would I still give her a gift? At this moment, Jiang Wanning felt like she was grasping the final lifeline. She couldn't wait to open that gift, but seeing the item inside, she froze. It turned out to be the Jiang family heirloom jade pendant. So, what I gave her back then wasn't a gift at all, but I wanted to return the engagement token to her. I truly wanted to completely cut ties with her. The last lifeline in Jiang Wanning's heart was violently shredded. She finally couldn't take it anymore, and everything went black. Wanning. Jiang Wanning had a high fever, the doctor said. It might be due to intense emotions causing a severe illness. She was sick for 3 days and 3 nights, never regaining consciousness. In her coma, she kept mumbling names, sometimes Song Jinian, sometimes me. Her parents were extremely worried. 3 days later, Jiang Wanning finally woke up. Mother Jiang rushed over. Wanning, you're finally awake. You were in a coma for 3 days. You scared me to death. Do you know that? After speaking, she suddenly realized. Jiang Wanning looked very different from usual. It was like she was a different person. She was scared, her voice trembling uncontrollably. Wanning, don't scare me. Are you okay? Only then did Jiang Wanning snap out of it, her expression returning to the one Mother Jiang knew, but her look still carried complexity. Mom, I had a dream, she spoke softly. In the dream, Yi Chen married me, but I failed him. Hearing Jiang Wanning's words, Mother Jiang's eyes reddened. Again, tell me, what is wrong with you, child? She spoke, choking back sobs. Yi Chen liked you so much back then, you didn't cherish it. Now that he's gone, you're thinking and dreaming of him day and night. But no matter how much you dream, he can't come back. Jiang Wanning frowned. She knew very clearly. That dream was absolutely not just because she missed me, that she dreamt it. That dream was too strange, so real it was as if everything had actually happened. In the dream, she and I also had an engagement since childhood, but the me in the dream didn't join any aerospace-based project, but logically married her. And the her in the dream never saw through the true face of Song Jinian, nor did she realize her feelings for me. So in the dream, she treated me terribly. Married for over 20 years, she didn't initiate buying me a single gift, didn't go on a single date. Even intimacy was like a routine task requested by me on my 35th birthday, only happening once a month. Not only that, the her in the dream never forgot Song Jinian, although she didn't do anything excessive with Song Jinian. She gave him all her love and care. The marriage between her and me was just a formality, dragging on for over 20 years, until she was 55. That year, her pharmaceutical company had a major accident. Strictly speaking, this accident was related to Song Jinian. At that time, Song Jinian had married someone else. His wife was a girl from a somewhat wealthy family. The Jiang Wanning in the dream, though insanely jealous of that girl, still gave her family many business opportunities, just so Song Jinian would be more financially comfortable. But unexpectedly, the other party was so unreliable. A simple drug manufacturing task had a major error, leading to contaminated medicine that killed many people. Jiang Wanning had to handle these matters, busy to the point of madness. And right at this moment, Song Jinian suddenly called her in the middle of the night, saying he wasn't feeling well, and that his wife was on a business trip, so no one could be with him. He asked if Jiang Wanning could come over quickly. The Jiang Wanning in the dream was truly infatuated with Song Jinian to the extreme. She actually braved a heavy snowstorm at midnight to rush to Song Jinian, but unexpectedly, due to slippery, snowy roads and fatigue from driving, an accident finally happened. The Jiang Wanning in the dream died like that at 55. But miraculously, although the Jiang Wanning in the dream clearly died, her consciousness didn't completely fade. She could still continue to see clearly everything happening in that world. So she witnessed with her own eyes that after she died, I finally opened the album she kept in the safe. That album was full of photos of Song Jinian. From his high school graduation to his university life, every birthday, every place they went together, was meticulously recorded by her, carefully placed in the cherished album. The me in the dream, after seeing that album, realized Jiang Wanning's feelings for Song Jinian. Not only that, the Jiang Wanning in the dream, before dying, had already made a will, wanting to leave all her assets to Song Jinian. Jiang Wanning wasn't surprised by this. She herself had originally planned that after marriage, she would immediately make a will, transferring all inheritance to Song Jinian. She always felt that in her life, since she couldn't give Jinian promises and happiness, then at least she had to give all her money to Song Jinian. This was also why she previously tricked me into getting sterilized, absolutely refusing to have children with me. And in the dream, she indeed did just that. She and I were married for over 20 years, but had no children. The assets also all went to Song Jinian. I received nothing, except for the debts Jiang Wanning owed, which all automatically transferred to me as her husband. Actually, with my wealth, I could completely shoulder these debts, but unfortunately, the victims' families didn't know this at all, thinking Jiang Wanning didn't give me the estate, so I had no way to pay off this massive debt. So in their rage, they stabbed me to death. The immense pain and panic caused Jiang Wanning to wake from the dream. Upon waking, Jiang Wanning was disoriented for a moment, unclear if she was the Jiang Wanning of this world, or the Jiang Wanning from the other world in the dream. Her emotions were also incredibly complex. When she first woke up, she was rejoiced, because the me in this world was still alive, not yet stabbed to death by others because of her. The next second, she thought that although I was alive, I had gone to a place where she could never find me. She felt heartbroken to the point of suffocation. After all, whatever she was like in the dream, she truly had me for over 20 years, but now she had lost me completely. Thinking of this, she felt immense heartache Every breath felt like it took all her strength. Seeing her like this, Mother Jiang couldn't help being scared, hurriedly pulling her. Wanting, "What on earth is wrong with you? Are you feeling unwell anywhere? Should I call the doctor?" Only then did Jiang Wanting, eyes red, look up at her mother, squeezing words hoarsely from her throat. "Mom, it seems I really love Xiao Yichen." The moment she said this sentence, Jiang Wanning felt as if a stone in her heart had finally fallen to the ground. She was finally willing to admit, finally willing to face her feelings for me. Hearing this, Mother Jiang was stunned, but then couldn't help crying out, "Yes, I knew it long ago. Everyone says no one understands a child like their mother. I actually noticed since you were small that you had Yichen in your heart, but I also didn't know why. You never wanted to admit this feeling, but I knew. You definitely liked him. That's why I always pushed for this marriage. Otherwise, do you think, as a mother, I would really force my own daughter, for the sake of a deceased best friend, to marry someone she didn't love? But you silly child, you liked him in your heart. Why didn't you admit it sooner? Why didn't you treat him well sooner? Why did you have to hurt him completely, making him leave with a heart turned to ash? Before you slowly realized it, Jiang Wanting stood, rooted to the spot. Yes, she always considered herself smart, assuming that in the business world, she could always see through the tactics and inner thoughts of competitors in the blink of an eye. But why couldn't she see through her own true heart? Maybe just because of a bit of rebellion. She and I had known each other since we were very small, childhood sweethearts, so to speak. When we were little, she really treated me very well. When playing house, she always wanted to play mom and dad with me. But when did things change? It was the year she was in high school. My mother passed away. Her mother suddenly said she wanted to arrange an engagement between the two families, so I would become real family. And at that time, Jiang Wanting, due to filling out university application preferences, had a fierce argument with her parents. Her parents hoped she would study financial management to take over the family business, but her real dream was actually to study fashion design. Eventually, she submitted to her parents' demands and applied for a major she didn't like. But that bit of rebellion in her heart remained. And when her parents arranged the engagement for her, that rebellion finally exploded completely. Why did her parents not only interfere with her major, but also interfere with her future marriage? In her rebellion, she started treating me worse and worse, as if just by treating me a bit badly, it was a form of resistance against her parents. Even later, when she was about to graduate from university, she met Song Jinian. Song Jinian and I were completely different people. I was smart, Song Jinian was simple. I was generous. Song Jinian was timid. I was an arrogant young master. Song Jinian was an orphan with nothing. It was precisely this strong contrast that made Jiang Wanting pay even more attention to Song Jinian, as if the better she treated Song Jinian a little bit, the more she could prove I wasn't her type. She married me purely because she was forced by her parents. She herself didn't realize she had been deeply imprisoned by this twisted mindset, involuntarily making the wrong choice. But now, she finally discovered Song Jinian wasn't simple like she thought. But even if he was that teenager, she didn't actually love him. She was just 30% pity and 70% rebellion. Actually, the one she always liked in her heart was me. After all, now she had actually taken over almost the majority of the family business, becoming the true helmsman. If she truly didn't want to marry me at all, she could have completely disobeyed her parents, but she always used keeping promises as an excuse to get entangled in this marriage. She actually loved me. But now that she thought everything through clearly, it was too late. Beside her, Mother Jiang continued to speak through tears. Now everything is too late. Yichen's project will take many years, maybe even 20 years before he returns. You two have finally lost each other. The past is past. Who in this world hasn't been heartbroken once? Just let it go. Go find someone you really like. Jiang Wanning trembled all over. She looked up fiercely. No, I won't let it go. Mother Jiang looked bewildered. Looking up, she saw Jiang Wanning clenching her fists, speaking firmly. I will definitely chase after Yichen. As long as he is still in this world, even if at the ends of the earth, I will chase after him. Yes. In just a brief moment, Jiang Wanning had thought it through. Compared to both of them dying in the dream, and 20 years of sharing a bed, but different dreams, at least real life held more hope. So what if I left? As long as I was still alive in this world, she could definitely chase after me. Moreover, she believed that since I liked her so much, I absolutely couldn't just let go like that. It was just that she treated me too badly before, making me despair and want to escape temporarily. But now, she had also realized her true heart. As long as she chased me properly, they could still reconcile. Mother Jiang gaped again. What nonsense are you talking about? Yi Chen went to a top-secret national project. How could you possibly find him? Jiang Wanning looked indifferent. There's always a way. Even if I can't find him, I will wait for him. 10 years. 20 years. I can wait. What did you say? Mother Jiang was stunned. But looking at her daughter's determined look, she knew she couldn't persuade her, no matter what. After all, the person before her was no longer the girl of the past whom they could arrange things for. She had completely grown up. Neither she nor Father Jiang could influence any of her affairs anymore. Jiang Wanning acted immediately. After leaving the hospital, She contacted many people, wanting to use connections, to find out which project I was in and which base. But unfortunately, this project was truly too secret. Even exhausting all her efforts, she couldn't get any news. So she could only use a roundabout tactic, starting to invest large sums into various aerospace projects. These types of projects are actually state-controlled, but some private enterprises, if they give enough money, can also join under the guise of investment and donation. And Jiang Wanning did just that. Almost sparing no expense with large sums, she was constantly paving the way. One day, she might finally find out where I was. Previously at the wedding, Mother and Father Jiang said I was injured, to postpone the wedding for a month. But now that a month had clearly passed, and there was still no sign of me, many people asked about it. Only then did Mother and Father Jiang admit I canceled the engagement. Everyone was in an uproar. They originally thought the Jiang family would find Jiang Wanning another marriage partner, but unexpectedly, Jiang Wanning directly and publicly announced she would wait for me. She didn't say directly where I went. She only said I went abroad to study, but that she would definitely wait for my return. A wealthy young lady bravely chasing love. Such a love story always got people talking. Plus, the Xiao and Jiang families were originally wealthy clans. As for Jiang Wanning and me, we are both from the younger generation, very good-looking people. So, we already had a fixed fan base and popularity online. At this moment, Jiang Wanning declaring her love like that climbed the trending searches even faster, and at the same time, inside the Northwest Aerospace Base, have you guys checked the internet? That wealthy heiress named Jiang Wanning. Turns out she made a high-profile announcement online. She said she'll wait for her fiancé who went to study abroad. I saw that too, but I remember, before this, didn't she really look down on her fiancé? Like that one time. On her birthday, her fiancé rented a lot of screens to wish her a happy birthday. A reporter interviewed her, asked her how she felt. She just coldly said it was a waste of money, meaningless. But speaking of which, what's her fiancé's name again? I think it's Xiao Yichen. These researchers were chatting away. Suddenly, they looked ahead, at me, who was looking down eating, silent and not saying a word. Yichen. Your name and his are exactly the same. Even the surname is the same. My hand holding the chopsticks paused. Living here at the aerospace base, they say we are cut off from the world, cannot contact anyone outside, to prevent leaking secrets. But actually, it's impossible to truly make all researchers cut off the internet without even the most basic entertainment like that. No one could stand it. So researchers can go online to read the news, even shop online. We just can't post any comments or articles. Online purchases also can only be sent to a fixed address entirely. Unified inspection before delivery. So regarding recent events, the matter of Jiang Wanning loudly admitting her love online, I actually saw it too. My colleagues looked at me curiously. Yi Chen. Speaking of which, the time Jiang Wanning's fiancé left seems to match yours. It's just that her fiancé went to study abroad, and you came to this base, right? Right? If we didn't go into details, I would have thought Yi Chen is Jiang Wanning's fiancé. Everyone laughed together. I forced a smile, opened my mouth. In this world, there are plenty of people with the same name and surname. In this base, colleagues aren't too close to each other. So, besides the senior in charge of me at the beginning, because he saw my file, knew my background. Actually, the colleagues don't know that I am the heir to the famous Xiao family. They would absolutely never guess my true identity. After all, in their perception, which rich kid would give up a massive fortune, not live a life of luxury, to come to a hard place like this to work as a researcher? So when everyone heard me, they didn't suspect a thing. Continued chatting happily. In the end, it was the senior who knew my background. At night when we were alone cross-checking data, couldn't help but ask, Yi Chen, you didn't mention your past, but I can tell. You must have been hurt by your fiancé to come here. Now she seems to know she was wrong. Do you want to consider going back? The senior hesitated a bit, then said, although our base says the project can't be left before it ends, but if you make a special application, it's not impossible. But unexpectedly, I didn't hesitate to say, I won't leave. I looked up at the senior, calmly said, maybe she really regrets it now, but that's not important. I didn't come here to spite her, nor to hide from her. I am here to pursue my dream. Yes, I also saw Jiang Wanning's statements, but I don't care. Even if Jiang Wanning realizes she loves me in this life, so what? Even if everything she says this time is sincere, so what? Affection that comes too late is cheaper than grass. No matter how much Jiang Wanning regrets it now, the hurt she caused me in this life, and everything from the past life can't be changed. So I don't want to give up anything. For a woman like that, I came here to pursue my dream, not for anyone else. In this life, I just want to live for myself. The senior was stunned, hearing my words, finally nodded in shame. Right? I was too narrow-minded. Sorry. So, my life at the base continued. It continued calmly like that. I seriously researched science. Watching the project progress improve bit by bit, I was happier than anyone. The days at the research base passed very quickly. Unknowingly, 3 years passed. On this day, I just left the lab. Unexpectedly met a high-level leader. The leader immediately pulled me over. Yi Chen, Tonight, there is a thank you banquet for outstanding entrepreneur donors. You come with us. I frown again. That won't do. I am just a researcher. This kind of external work shouldn't be my responsibility. The leader waved his hand. Don't be polite with me. We high-level leaders actually all know. You are the heir to the wealthy Xiao family. This kind of scene. You surely understand it better than us old scholars. Just follow along. Helplessly, I could only follow the leaders. Arrived at the banquet venue together, but unexpectedly. Just as I entered, I saw Jiang Wanning wearing an evening gown. My whole body froze. And Jiang Wanning also quickly stood up, face full of joy. Yichen. And I finally understood what was happening. Frowned. Whispered. Leader, I'll go back to doing scientific work. I turned to leave. But just as I reached the corridor door, Jiang Wanning reached out and grabbed me. Yichen. Why run when you see me? I shook off her hand, spoke indifferently. I didn't mean to hide. Jiang Wanning spoke even more excitedly. You're lying. You wanted to leave the moment you saw me. If you really didn't have me in your heart, why wouldn't you dare to face me? I finally sighed helplessly. I looked down at Jiang Wanning, without dodging a bit. Calmly. See, I am not hiding from you, I already said. I just don't want to waste time on you anymore. That's all. I told the truth. A whole previous life. The youth of this life, I had spent on Jiang Wanning. Wasted too much time. Every second that follows. I don't want to have deep entanglement with her anymore. A look of hurt flashed in Jiang Wanning's eyes. I am sorry, Yichen. I was wrong. Always proud as she was, she bowed her head for the first time, lowered her voice. I beg you to forgive me. Before, I was really bad. I guarantee I will treat you well in the future. Will you come with me? I just looked at her coldly. No need to beg. Me, I already told you. We broke the engagement. We are strangers. Nothing more to say. But I don't want to let you go. Jiang Wanning excitedly grabbed my arm. You know what? After you left, I had a dream. Dreamed of what seemed like my past life. In the past life, we got married. But I always treated you badly. Finally, I died, and you were stabbed to death because of me. After waking up, my heart hurts so much. I discovered I really love you. I beg you, don't leave me anymore. Okay? Jiang Wanning said. This dream was just to clearly express the process of realizing her true feelings. But unexpectedly, my face changed, hearing her words. I looked at Jiang Wanning for a long time, finally said, what if it wasn't a dream? Jiang Wanning was stunned. Yichen, what do you mean? I shook off Jiang Wanning's hand, indifferently said, up to now, I have nothing to hide from. To you, Jiang Wanning, I am reborn. The dream you spoke of is actually our subconscious, so what you said in the dream. The suffering I endured, those despairs, were all real. Jiang Wanning stood frozen, and I looked at her, saying every word clearly. Jiang Wanning, if it were you, in the past life, being failed by someone for over 20 years, waiting for over 20 years, finally getting killed because of her selfishness, living another life. Would you still be willing to give this person another chance? Would you still be willing to waste a minute on this person, or give them any more time? Jiang Wanning's face turned pale as paper. She stood there unable to say a word, and I calmly spoke. Your expression has given me the answer. So, I hope you can understand me too. Jiang Wanning, don't come looking for me anymore. Saying that, I walked away without looking back. Jiang Wanning stood there, completely lost her soul. Before, she felt the dream was a bit too real, but she didn't expect. I told her that dream turned out to be real. So saying I really experienced those things. Jiang Wanning suddenly collapsed to the ground, eyes full of despair. She thought the dream was warning her, so she could see her true feelings clearly, but she didn't think that dream was everything I experienced. Since I experienced all that, I really could never forgive her again. Thinking of this, Jiang Wanning covered her face and cried bitterly. Time passed very quickly. Unknowingly, another 7 years passed. Along with the successful landing of the manned spacecraft, I and all the researchers erupted in cheers. We knew this symbolized the complete success of the project. A full 10 years of scientific research finally ended. Everyone was very happy. Finally can go home. I wonder if my child grew up, will recognize me or not. And my mother, I wonder if her leg ailment has healed these years. Everyone sighed with emotion, looking forward to the day of going home. Only, I looked calm, because I had no home long ago. Parents both passed away. Jiang Wanning also had no relationship with me anymore. Going back now is just continuing a quiet life. I quickly arrived home, but unexpectedly, Mother Jiang was waiting for me. Yichen, you're finally back. Mother Jiang grabbed my hand, choked up and said, if you didn't come, Wanning might not be able to see you for the last time. What? I was stunned. Following Mother Jiang to the hospital, I saw on the hospital bed, Jiang Wanning dying. What happened? I frowned. In the past life, Jiang Wanning clearly lived to over 50, died because of a car accident. In this life, why does her body look so bad? Mother Jiang choked up. Since you left, she desperately ruined her body. Every day just working, wouldn't listen to advice. How could her body withstand such abuse? Recently discovered terminal cancer. A person's body is closely related to genes, lifestyle, diet, and mood. And Jiang Wanning, after I left, her mood fell into an abyss. Lifestyle and diet even more desperately torturing herself. That's what exhausted her health. I looked at Jiang Wanning on the hospital bed, just saw Jiang Wanning smile bitterly at me. You're back. You know what I wanted to say? In the past life, I failed you for over 20 years. In this life, I wanted to wait for you for over 20 years, but unexpectedly, I can't wait anymore. Have to leave first. Yi Chen, up to now, are you willing to forgive me? Willing to give me another chance? I looked at the withered woman on the bed, hesitated for a long time, finally, said, I forgive you. Jiang Wanning's eyes darkened. I forgave her, but didn't say I'd give her another chance. This was too clear. Even facing a dying person, I didn't want to say nice lies to her. Jiang Wanning finally closed her eyes in sorrow. Fine, this is all my karma. Next life. Next life, really? Really. In the next life without memories, I will definitely treat you well.